So we got Patrice O'Neal. It's pro-Obama Day, finally.
Yes.
We get a word in today because Anthony is out. He'll be back tomorrow. He was celebrating his mommy's 25th anniversary.
Yep, that's what he said.
With Baltimore Sale.
See if there's any missing homeless black men.
So a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, get Patrice. We get to get the other side of the story. With this Obama
get
being
me while he's talking.
President-elect. Well, you could call it any time you want. You got that.
God damn.
You got that power. You should have called in when he was ranting and raving.
I'm just taking it in just to see what his stance was. Beyond the anger, ultimately, it's nothing new to me. Something new to a lot of people, not to me. Not what he's saying, but just the attitude. I already know. White people are fake.
I'm
not Anthony.
I'm happy Obama's going to be the next president. Jimmy's very happy.
I'm happy. I wanted him to win.
Well,
believe me, I'd tell you if I didn't.
Your mind is different, though. You know, Anthony still, like I said, he still wants to attach himself. It's almost like that keeping it real thing. Anthony still wants to attach himself to the local schlub whose hands are busted up and the garbage men and he's not that guy anymore. He wants to be that, but he's a millionaire and he's thinking there's no way he can think. See, if it was about money, he wouldn't be that emotional. Money doesn't make you scream and holler about taxes and stuff. There's too many ways for people with money to hide money and do goofy things. This is emotional, and his emotion is touching dumb white people. That's what bothers me about it. It's just touching white people who aren't smart enough to know that the president can really do nothing to affect just one group. You know, it is. You have to. It's very. Who affects is policies, law policies. You know, police can affect one group. Putting your hands on somebody. It's white cops. What are you going to do? Change the infrastructure of what racism is now? See, racism used to be. It used to be legislation wise. You was able to be racist. See, here's the fear that Anthony has, and I heard it a couple of times with the uppity thing. Is that here's some white people, I'm going to think as a white guy and what would make me mad. You've never, as a white person, had to ever answer in this country to a black guy. On any way. It's almost like having a dog or a kid. Whatever your way of dealing with those people, your dog or dealing with that, is crate training better than rolling up a newspaper and hit him in the face. Some people roll a newspaper up, hit him in the face. Some people crate train their dog. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the dog doesn't get a choice. You're ultimately deciding whether that's the right way to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for this country, white people, when I say white, it's institutional white. It's not just, I don't look at any white dude particularly as my oppressor. It's this country. And white people just don't want to see, like even I heard a story the other day. I was listening to the replay coming over. The thing where he's upset is that there's some black people that all they got is to be proud of any black person that makes it through a system that they think has been holding them down. That was the OJ verdict. The OJ verdict had nothing to do with OJ. It was just, oh man, he beat that system. He was a black dude that had the resources to beat that. Woo! That was it. That's all it was. But white people don't want to see that happen. And ultimately, here's what I say about the race part. The thing is, this is the only people in this country who are defined by color is white and black, dude, to win this. But the fact that his skin is what it is makes it the problem it is.
But it's also how he identifies himself. And one thing just to say, because you've touched on the race, it's that it's not just dumb white people. It's like, it's not just a matter of thinking like, oh my God, all black people are going to run the country. It's the fear that's happening with a lot of people. It's this irrational thing where it's a black face in a typically white office. And it's like, as irrational, like, they said a lot of black people are unhappy and can be disappointed because it's the first one. A lot of white people that are really disappointed and frightened are going to realize, oh, what was I worried about? It's working that way both ways. Like, a lot of black people are too excited because they think something is going to happen different that really isn't. And a lot of white people are depressed because they think something
But those people are
in
the same category. This is what I'm saying about how we all think. See, I'm not eliminating black people from the problem either. Because a lot of black people think that the black president is going to do something black for them. I've heard some of the goofy things, but those goofy black people are just as stupid as goofy white people who think that this is going to all this is really what this is to me it just gives me the opportunity because I want the equality to me is when a black person, a mediocre black person, can be put into a spectacular position. Obama had to be almost Messiah-like, the lore of this guy. I want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger is the governor of California. I'm just looking at his face. Mm-hmm. He is mediocre from head to toe. The spectacular thing that he is he was a spectacular weightlifter. He's not a spectacular guy. He's not a spectacular leader. His movies weren't spectacular. They were great in terms of entertainment, but he's really a mediocre guy. It's just like a black quarterback. Right now, there's enough black quarterbacks for me to go, please fire him. Mm-hmm. There's enough mediocre black coaches to go, please fire him. The coach from Pittsburgh is a spectacular young black coach, but Herm Edwards has to go. Removed from football in terms of head coaches.
What has he done, really?
Mediocre.
What is Herm
Doesn't
Edwards?
know. Romeo Crennel from Cleveland. Got to go. But that's what I want, is that the next black president can't be
But if they were the
all things.
Hold on, but if they were the only black coaches, then you wouldn't say they have to go?
Exactly.
That's where it
if
gets
it was
weird
just
for me.
one and that was it, then I'd be like, hey, he got to stay. Because there's not any. But my thing is, it's all a symbol for me. Because I knew what I was watching the election with my girl. My girl got a white mama. And she stands up and she goes, yes, right? And I'm like, wow, all right. And she's like, yeah, call me black now. I go, excuse me? Call me black. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You know, my girl's half black, half white. You know how half black, half white girls look. You know, got some white things and some black things. Mm-hmm. Black lips, white hair. You know? So she's like, yeah, if you're going to call him black, you call me black. I go, what? That shit, you look like Sarah Palin, right? So I'm joking with her.
Sarah Palin with a tan.
She walks in the room and wets her hair so it can get curly. And say, I don't have no white people hair, I'm black. And if you're going to call him black, you got to call me black. Ah! She was crazy. So I'm sitting there going, this really means a lot to a lot of people. But immediately my mind is going, all right.
But can I stop? So she would downsize the black part of her?
No,
because she wanted to assimilate more into the white world?
No, she's upgrading.
Now she's upgrading the black
side. Part because
I get that, but
she hates the way she's black.
But before that, she would like make sure her hair is straight and all that to maybe fit in a little more in the white world.
Nah, I mean, look.
And now that Obama's president, she's like, man, I'm letting the black hang out now.
No.
All right, because I'm a little.
No, it's something that only she can understand. See what I'm saying? It's like something that I couldn't. I was teasing her, but the fact that when I said she went to wet her hair, the only thing that made that happen is that I said, wow, she's serious. She's dead serious that she went to go wet her hair to say, no, I'm not a white woman. I'm not this. I'm not that. It was something that only someone mixed race could. I still don't know what it was that made her deeply feel that way. People going to want something out of this. And what white people going to want out of this is the end of racism. The end of black people talking about slavery and talking about race and talking about you look at where you've come, and that's the thing that this country doesn't understand. Even with Jeremiah Wright, why black people want to accept with him is because we understand what that is. We live here, we make it, we do this and we do that, but we do it despite this country. And it's not you and it's not you, but you think of yourself as a white guy, Opie. You think of yourself as a white guy, Norton, but your family may have never had anything to do with slavery, ever. But the fact is what this country has set up, meaning you gonna feel white, your color oppresses my color. And wait a minute, black people have never, ever have found a way to forgive this country. That's the problem, and that's what's going to change this country is when black people are able to forgive. United States, there's no place to forgive.
But you can't look at something like white people only voted for him because they want it to be the end of black complaining. I mean, to put it in a nutshell.
How would I ever know?
Maybe some white people. But you're not saying that any people are like, yeah, I like this guy. Symbolically, I like what it is. But I also think it's like you don't realize that white people, we're not, I'm not even just me and Opie white guys, but other white guys. We're not just a bunch of hayseeds running around going, "Well, we voted one in, everything's all right."
No,
Right.
no.
It's
See,
like,
that's not, I'm not marginalizing people's minds like that.
like people will look at this and go, "It's a step in the right. It's a
do
positive."
you think
thing.
there are men who work with women, right, as dudes, men who work every day in an office with a woman, right, and he just wants to squeeze her boob, or grab her boob, and the only thing stopping him really is
HR?
Can't do it.
HR.
HR.
Before HR, you got away with that stuff.
That's
a little pinch line.
Thank you. Okay.
And that's why the women in the office place, they now dress sexier because they know no one's going to touch them.
No one's going to touch them.
They're not buttoning up anymore because they got someone protecting them.
And
that cleavage is all flowing in the workplace.
A lot of white people, I'm not saying all anything. I'm saying a lot of white people, racism, being a racist is the worst thing. The very worst thing that you can be accused of as a white person now. And so bad that, you know what? Even if I'm racist, I might vote for Obama just so I can make sure that if something comes down and I'm accused of being racist, that you can't call me that because I voted for Obama. Ultimately, dude, you got to understand, Norton, the relationship between black and white people in this country is based on your superiority mentally and over black people, and that has never changed. See, when the Jews was free from bondage, if the Jews story is biblical, if you watch the damn 10 Commandments, at the end of the day, the Pharaoh really wanted to kill him. He came down. He wanted to say, you know what, I freed him, but I'm going to go murder him. Rode down there with his chariots. The Red Sea opened up, washed them all away. He went back home and was like, hey, look. And his wife was like, did you kill him? He's like, look, his God is God. God freed the Jews. God, the how we live our lives is based on how the Jews were free. Basically, the 10 Commandments, most of us, that's the mantra of how we live our lives. It was a special story. They're the chosen people. It's closure. There's a villain, which is the Pharaoh in Egypt. There's a beginning, a middle, there's an end. It's over. They don't have to continue to hate vagueness. How we were freed, it was paperwork. If you read the Emancipation Proclamation, which is the document that freed the slaves, it's nothing but making black people go to war. And in the third paragraph, it's like, hey, go report to something.
Yeah, but
in that war.
I get it. We've talked about it many, many times. So how do we solve this? Because I'll tell you this
There's
much.
no way for white people to solve it. That's what an arrogant statement right there.
No, but I'll tell you something, because like the average white person doesn't think of the slavery thing like you guys do.
Of course you don't.
And I know, and as a white person, I can tell you, I just worry about my own struggles. I could give a crap
but here's
about
why it's easy
your
for you
struggles
to
or
do
anybody
that.
else, because I had it tough growing up. My struggles were against the system. It wasn't a color. And as I continue to be very successful in my life, I have a lot of people in my family that are still struggling. And that's what I focus my attentions on. If I could give a crap about the slave thing.
Of course, if I punch you in your face every day.
Right.
And then I just stop.
But that's why I don't know how this ever works itself out.
I'm going to tell you how it works itself out.
Because we got our own struggles. I can't be bothered with worrying about
It's easy for you.
Making that slave thing completely go away.
It's easy for your skin color to move on.
But it's not easy.
For you.
I got brothers that are still struggling because of the system, not because of slavery or any of that
You're talking
crap.
about personal experience.
Well, that's what we all look at.
But this is bigger than personal experience.
Well, you're not going to get Whitey's help on that.
Exactly.
How do we figure this out?
This is why, ultimately, you're not. This is what I'm saying. White people's idea that they're going to figure this out is the ultimate arrogance of it, is that I'm doing my part to help. The only way...
No, we don't even think that way.
The only way that black people are going to really move on is to find closure for ourselves.
Right.
Because we're not going to get it from white people.
So again, how do we get to that point?
How do you get to
I
that
don't
point?
know how. See, my thing is, again, personal experience. You're my friend, you're my friend. It's like, but I dislike white people. But I don't see you as a white dude. You're Norton. But I'm talking about what this country does and what your skin color is in this country, and the things. And I can't. Nobody black is going to relate to. Hey man, the system. It's like, yeah, what, taxes or something else or something. I'm talking about oppression. I'm talking about a country who did something to a people who never, ever said that this is wrong. Now, I live with the legacy of the skin, and you live with the legacy of the skin, and it's still that way. We have never mentally, for the color, never mentally been moved on.
But
this country hasn't moved on.
The country has said it was wrong. More than symbolically, the way things have changed in the last X amount of years. I'm not saying that erases anything.
What, we get stuff? Black presidents?
Yeah, but it's not that, man. It's not that. It's the way people look at things. It's the interactions people have. You can't write it off as just like you painted it like all of a sudden like all white people still think the same way.
No,
and nothing has changed.
No,
what
has changed?
Norton,
what
changed? At it like everything. Perceptions, the way people interact, people's desire just to live with each other and not have any of this crap that was going on for all these years. That has changed a lot, and it hasn't been force-fed. You can't just say that everybody who is pro-Obama or who is pro all this stuff are being force-fed and reluctant or looking at black people in a negative way. It's just not true.
Let me ask you this. Do
you agree it's getting better?
Do I agree it's getting better?
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't moved on. We have moved on. It's the fact is that to really end it, we need closure mentally, because
this summer the Congress did apologize formally for slavery.
But you said
it doesn't mean anything. Do you understand?
Is that a start?
It's not a start.
No,
because a bunch of white guys who decide this was bad. It goes. This is what I'm saying, that you can do nothing about it, because we have to go back in time to where the wrongness happened. To where, like the wrong. See, ultimately, dude, there's a feeling that black people have that's not going to be changed by apologies or money or anything. It's a forgiveness that we don't have for the country, that white people can say, "Hey, man, I got my problems." We know, because that's human problems, issues. Your mama's sick, your feet hurt. We understand. I'm talking about as a people that this country has done nothing but wrong. And the people, I think in 1950, if there was a black candidate, he might have still won. If in 1950, the Klan wasn't allowed to just beat somebody's ass at the voting booth, I think there have been enough people to vote a black president then. I don't think, my thing is the inside, how people feel. I don't care about the trinkets of just, here you go, here's a president, here's this. Doesn't that see the change? Look how far you've come. What?
But it's not just that. It's not just that. That's the point I'm making. That if that was the way everybody thought, you'd be right. But everybody is not looking at it like, here you are, child, take this. You don't want white paternalism.
I'm generalizing.
You don't want white paternalism, and fair enough. Nobody would want that. It's insulting. But that's not the way it is for all people. And that's what I'm saying. You can't look at it like everyone is just looking at it like, well, here's your little gift. Slavery's over, pat on the head, take care, Godspeed. That's not the way all people are looking at it.
We're not, again, I'm going to say this one more time. It's not all people. This is what I'm saying, dude. The arrogance that white people put themselves, anytime the word white is said, that you would put yourself in a category to understand. See how you understand the white point of view, Norton?
Sure,
that, hey, this is not what we all, this is, you got to understand there's a new kind of racism, man. It's lying. This is why I appreciate Anthony.
You can't say white and expect other white people to not react any more than if some people say black, you're going to react. You can't paint it like where black people can react one way to the whole country and it can all feel the same thing because of their skin color, and yet you can criticize white people and of course white people are going to get react.
But the color that we're talking about is the same color that messes with your family when you say you have your problems and you're worried about your family and things. That's the white that black people are talking about. That's why black people are closer to having this racial thing and than white people, because we live in a country, Norton, okay, where really we've never felt like anything's changed. Even though, okay, you're allowed to do this, is almost, it's insulting.
But it's generational thing. It's like we're living it, and I said this to Anthony too. In hindsight, this is going to be a blip on the radar. Like, oh yeah, that's when things were all of a sudden different. But in a real generational life, like we're living it real time. So it's not going to be finished in our lifetimes. But we're living it real time. It is happening relatively quickly. When you look where something happened, if you're living in the 40-year period, you're like, who cares? Now I'm allowed to do this.
Where's the internal change of all this? The internal.
I'm not sure what you mean.
The difference in your life, the difference that makes you go, damn, this was foul, and move on. See, it's easy to move on when you're white. It's not easy to move on when you feel the same way in this country. And now the covertness of it is hard to, you can't prove it. Before, all we could do was relate to lynching, dogs, hoses, and George Wallace. Now it's who, me? I don't know. So basically what we have left, like I said, Jews had Hitler and his mustache and his friends. We have white.
Color. I know. You got a color. I understand
white.
that. Well,
that's it.
All right. Well, come up with the solution then.
There's the one.
That's what I asked you today.
It's generational. It's not going to happen now. It's a slow. Again, 500 years from now, people look back. They'll go, oh, yeah, in 2000, they'll probably just call 2000. All of a sudden, 2000, they got a black president, and things will be different because you'll have a 50 or 100-year span to look at it. In real time, when you're living something,
right,
it seems like it's slow and nothing is happening.
What is it, longer than 2000?
That's a pretty good point Jimmy's making, by the way. Do you really think Whitey has it easy in this country? I know
Opie,
you.
You don't understand what I'm saying because you're saying that to me.
But I know, yeah, exactly, because I know you think Whitey has it a lot easier. I know that being white probably makes it easier in this country. I'm not stupid, but it's still effing hard for us too.
Okay, but at least you're not me.
That's why I'll never understand this, because I know the struggles that I'll say it again, that I have, my family has. I got people in my family working 2 jobs trying to pay bills. That's all they care about.
Let's go back to.
They don't give a crap what you or your people, sorry to say like that, have been through. We have our own problems.
Let's go back to where white people in this country were different from each other. What was that about, Stonebrain? 1901?
Yeah.
When there was WAPs, mix, this, that, third, that, blah, blah.
Sure.
Ultimately, you would have understood then.
But I'm not living then.
But see, this is what I'm saying.
Now. I'm in the here and now.
But because you're not in the here and now. See, this is the thing. White people erase historical value from this country, and it's about moving on. Nobody says to a Jew,
it's not
the Holocaust.
But Patrice,
get over it.
But I'm really trying to simplify this. It's not about
it's not simplifying.
It's our day-to-day struggle and I mean for me and my family and close friends. That's what I care. That's my world.
Because
I can't be bothered and worry about what slavery has done to you.
Are you Irish? You're Irish, right?
I'm a mutt. Seriously, I'm everything.
Let's say if your blood was Irish, if you was purebred Irish, and it didn't go into the direction of color where Irish people kind of feel superior, Polish people feel superior, based on the color. Historically, man, the color is the issue. Obama is not a black dude. He ain't a black dude. He's black by his skin color. Do you understand what this country is? It's based on color, and it's not going to change. As a white guy, you deal with things that people deal with.
What do you mean he's not a black dude, though? I'm not sure what you mean.
He's not.
Well, he's not like Flavor Flav.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I watched D.L. Hewley's show.
He's not like a Flavor Flav. He's like.
That's like saying John Kerry's not white because he's not, you know what I'm saying? Like
no. It's not the same. I'm going to tell you why.
Right?
I'll tell you something. Black Africans, right? I watched D.L. Hewley's show on CNN. And he interviewed these Africans from Kenya. And Africans, you should have seen this interview. I got so mad because they took credit. See, Africa does not associate themselves with black America. They go, he is the first generation Kenyan. What are you, D.L. Hughley? Wouldn't even pronounce his name right. Africans make me sick. D.L. Hughley.
I didn't even know this was going on.
Yeah, exactly, because you're white.
That's fine.
And you don't need to know.
How would we know?
I don't need to know.
Africans don't tell us anything. How do we know?
So,
how many Africans do I know?
Mr. Hughley, you are here 70 generations, and look at what you did. Nothing. And we import.
Don't tell me to wait.
We export presidents to your country. Africans embrace this as him. He's not meaning this. Jesse Jackson's son would be the black president. Now, Obama's the black president because of skin, not because of historic value and wow, this dude is black. And I don't mean he's black like he don't have rhythm or something. The dude is half white, half African.
He's seen it, but he's seen. Again, it's all perception. He lives as a black male.
Thank you.
He's seen as a black male.
We're saying the same thing.
I know. But I'm saying is, you're looking at the internal stuff, but he is seen as a black man in this country's eyes, and this country said he's a black. They're not looking at it like Jesse Jackson's son.
Right.
Well, he's blacker or more black American. He's half. The country looked at a black guy with the name Barack Obama and said, we like this guy.
The Hussein part.
But you know what I mean? It was like, we like this guy. We want him to be our president. And I know that sounds cheesy. I'm not saying it erases everything, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. But that's what my problem is. I guess I'm being utopian about it. Is what it is to me is very scary. Because ultimately, the only thing that can keep slavery from happening again, I was talking to my mother like, hey, Mom, what if the country just decided to go, hey, look, we don't have enough money. We need free labor. Sorry, black folks, we got to reinstitute slavery. Now, ultimately, hypothetically, that's ridiculous.
Of course it is.
But why is it? Based on what is that ridiculous? Other than, oops, it's not going to happen. But if they needed free labor to build this country up again in terms of for its money, and they said black people, we have to reinstitute slavery.
Ridiculous.
What would happen? It's ridiculous based on the idea that it's ridiculous.
What are we going to do with all the Mexicans then?
Exactly.
Sorry.
Dude, this is my analogy that, because my girl called me a black supremacist, like when we was watching. She was like, you're just the same as the rest of them. She's
I'm going to be talking to her at the wedding.
You're a black supremacist. But I felt it took her understanding as a woman to get it. It's like this. If you come in the house, right, and you beat your wife, punch her in the face every day.
Yeah.
And she stands there, right, and that's the part of life. You can beat her ass and there's nothing she can say. One day you come in and you don't punch her. She don't say nothing. She's just not getting punched. She's like, whew. Then a month goes by, you just stop punching her. Then one day you come in with flowers. You give her flowers. And then she goes, you have a moment, you go, she goes, why did you stop punching me? And you go, a lot of my friends was getting arrested for punching their wives, so I didn't want to get arrested. I just didn't punch you in your face no more. And she goes, what? Wait a minute. The only reason you stop punching me is because you might get in trouble for doing it. And ultimately, I know you're not getting punched, but the idea that someone's not, it's not a heartfelt thing.
But that's how most people stop doing
That's
stuff.
the original stop. That's the original stop. And then 20 years later, if husbands all over are still not punching their wives,
right,
the wives can't go, you're only not hitting me so you don't go to jail, because it goes beyond that where it's like all husbands
but you know what?
You're not supposed to do that.
Here's the point. It's still at the mercy of social acceptance.
Numerically, it will always be that then. Then you're putting it into a situation where no one can win because that's a numerical game.
And that's why I'm saying white people have no way to help to see somebody that a white guy, old white man, just something about him just felt like he wanted to go, I'm sorry. It looked like he wanted to go, look, man, I knew he was better going in. I would have voted for him if I didn't have to go through this nonsense of being Mr. Old White Man. This guy is better, and you know it, and I know it. Boo!
But that's typical politics. Like, that
wasn't a typical political speech.
No. But the booing, they always do that.
Oh, yeah.
They don't always boo.
Wait, you mentioned the opponent in the concession speech?
What?
No, they always.
Every concession speech.
It's always the guy like,
everyone.
My opponent ran a better campaign. Boo! Go
Okay.
back in history.
Everyone, dude.
Every time we elect a new president,
I'm going to go with you guys on this. This is what I'm saying to bring it to what I want to feel. I don't want to feel like they booed the black guy.
They didn't boo the black guy.
But do you understand?
They were booing that. They were booing that their
feelings.
They were booing that their guy they worked so hard for is not going to be the president.
And
they believe in him and his policy.
I'm telling you.
All right, that's
they do it every election.
That's what you say.
Every election.
Your paranoia, I don't understand that.
it.
It's paranoia.
You're
dismiss it
paranoia.
as paranoid. Fair enough.
Hold on. That bullying
Here's
is.
the saying.
Wait,
Here's
let
the
me
saying.
answer that bullying
Just
is.
because I'm
Hold on.
paranoid don't mean somebody ain't trying to kill me.
You're right, but that bullying.
Patrice, let me tell you something. You're paranoia, and I don't understand because I don't live your life. I so don't see it that way. Don't see it that way.
But do you understand? You see
I'm
it
not
that way,
saying
and
my-
I don't, and I see it
All right,
differently.
that's why
I want to see it differently. That's my whole thing.
To me, it was so obvious they were booing because their man did not win.
They
the
booed
elections.
McCain
They
when
weren't-
Obama mentioned him.
You
They do
dismiss-
that.
You this country. Let me stop saying
No,
white.
no, forget what
this
black and white.
country dismisses black people's feelings as paranoia.
But just because white
All right,
people
you know
dismiss black people's feelings of paranoia,
Find out if
it
any
doesn't
black
mean that
people
they never
think
are.
the same thing I do.
It doesn't mean
Wait,
that they never are. They boo every concession speech.
Can you believe, like Anthony, I heard him talking about he the president now, right? I heard that one, and I'm like,
We laughed at him for
and
that
it's
one.
hilarious.
Because I mean, Jimmy and I live in New York. I have to say it again. You know, some of the hardcores will kill me on this one, but I am not seeing what Anthony.
Why would any white person
I'm just not seeing it.
understanding the history, which means a lot of white people don't need to know the history of this country, don't need to know. So why would any white person who didn't know any history not have you have to read books and learn about the history of this country to say, you know what? Damn, all they're doing is saying Obama now for what this country did. That's all they're doing. They can't have that one.
I don't want to get
White
away.
people, your record is 1,000,000.
But I don't want to
in
get
the
away from the
world.
fact that you were talking about the booing, because
Yeah,
as
that
much as what you're saying, a lot of what you're saying is very correct, and I know it's correct. But that is like when you're looking at something that way and you're going into that extreme of it, you are looking at it wrong.
And exactly, but I'm admitting it, Norton. I want to be able to. See, there's been enough black mayors who've done some really ridiculous things. Kwame, the one in Newark, Sharp James, Marion Barry smoking crack. There's been some black mayors who've done enough things to where if a white mayor's running against a black guy, I go, hey. It just has to be enough black people doing enough things for me to give white people the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
and it's hard to do.
Well, that's what I was saying the other day. We were talking about this, and the bottom line is presidential elections are once every 4 years. It's going to be a historical view. It's not going to happen in any lifetime.
Yeah,
Say 200 years from now when they look at a 100-year block of time. We have 25 more elections after this Obama election. Let's just say of the 25 elected presidents, 6 are black, 19 are white.
Well, let's be
Or
honest.
5 and 20, however you want to look at it.
What,
Say
5 out of 20 will be black presidents?
Let's say over the next
Hell no.
100 years.
Hell no.
Here's what 100 years is going to be. One of these things is not
no.
like the other.
In 100 years, you're wrong. There's going to be
You
a
think
Jewish.
there'll be-
Of course, there will
There'll be
be.
5 out
A
of
Jewish
20?
president?
In 100 years, the way the global economy is all becoming one.
This world hating Jews. They hate Jews for 10,000 years.
I understand that, but look at the high level guys like Bloomberg and guys like Lieberman. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And once it happens, like you said, it's not as big a deal anymore. In 100 years, will they look back and say that there were 4 or 5 black presidents in a 100-year period from this point?
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You think there'll be 5 presidents in 5 black presidents in 100 years?
Out of 25 elections,
Are you out your mind, Norton?
Why not?
Why not?
Patrice?
It's not going to happen.
Why not? If Obama is a good president, and it just becomes, would you have thought that way? There was going to be X amount of black mayors, or X amount of, like you said, the first one, X amount of black players, or X amount of black anything. Once it happens once, like you said, the first one is symbolic.
Yeah, then
it just becomes something that is a part of the country.
All right, fair enough. I wish I could be a vampire to know. I really wish I
But
could.
that's not even being that positive. Saying 5 elections, or you want to go 4 out of the next 100 years.
I think the possibility is right
It's
there,
not a
man.
crazy-
It's not a crazy thought, Patrice.
At all.
Dude, this is again, I'm going to say to you guys, this is why I exhume you from responsibility. I really want to feel that way. I can think that way and I can agree with logic, but I'm in the middle of being a reasonable, logical person and feeling how I feel.
All right.
And I'm telling you how you feel.
He says 5 presidents in the next 100 years will be black. How many do you think?
None.
You're still finding reasons as to why it's like.
Do you understand? I have to stop you every time there's an arrogant white statement, and I'm not. Let me finish this. without maliciousness, that is an arrogant statement that I'm still finding reasons you are dismissing.
No, I'm not. You're jumping on the first part of the sentence I used, meaning you're still finding reasons as to why it's all negative. But
you really do that, Patrice.
You rigged the game
really
in your own
do
mind,
that.
Patrice. You've rigged the game in your own mind. Where first, the guy's not going to win. He can't win.
Right.
And then he wins, and you have no change of thought whatsoever. It's almost like, okay, but at least that's not an arrogant statement.
You know what made me think he had a chance to win? Is the last-ditch effort. Barack Hussein Obama running for president.
Right.
Black dude, father left his home,
right.
Smoked, did coke, the whole thing. The last-ditch effort the day before, what made me believe is that white people or the Republicans thought he was going to win because his last-ditch effort was his poor black auntie in Boston. I said, this dude is going to win.
The Republicans,
because they got.
They knew he was going to win.
That
I think the Republicans all along were worried he was going to win. I think that's why they put a 72-year-old guy instead of one of the young future of the Republican parties against him.
But these phones are they're just chomping, and
we got to get a break.
We just can't get to them, which is we'll try after the break. You all right?
What?
You all right?
What'd you call me?
I said you're all right.
Oh, I thought he called me in. Oh, my bad.
No, it's just
Are you crazy?
It's only what everybody's thinking.
I'm messing with you. I'm still a comedian.
I would never do it to your face. What's wrong with you? What do you think? I'm stupid? I might be naive about black culture, but I know when to say it and when not to.
I was ready to call him Patrice the mind reader.
Opie and Anthony.
I try to make it real and try to make myself a villain sometime. And you see me perform, Norton. I try to make myself a villain so that I'm not endearing, so that when I say it, that white people can be upset.
Rousing success.
Yeah, right on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
By the way, for the record, because Anthony's not here, when you ask him why McCain, he would say because, he believes in McCain's policies over Obama.
Of course.
I'll say, but there's
But
one.
I'm just saying.
Ant is valid when he talks about.
And he could back it up because he starts spewing some stuff.
The NRA, he's a big NRA guy. And look, Obama's tax policy, it's like, it is a big thing, though.
He wouldn't be this animalistic.
Probably not, right.
If it was a white guy that won.
But he'd be closer to this animalistic
I guarantee.
than you think.
How long you guys been working together?
14.
8 years for me.
14 years.
Yeah, we started with the OJ thing.
Clinton was in office for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
8 years.
8.
No, 6 years at that time, meaning 6 more years Clinton was in office during that time. Was he ever out of his mind like he is now, and there's a Democratic president?
We didn't really.
He didn't make the money back then either.
We've grown over the years. We didn't talk politics back in '94.
But now his growth is based on saying uppity N-words that he's goofy enough to think that black people. What? Here's the thing.
In all fairness,
don't you think we just give a black dude who doesn't know any better, give him that?
In all fairness, like Ant's not here. He'll have a lot to say about this tomorrow. But what we need to do is get you both in studio at the same time to really have at it.
No, that's a good point,
But
though.
because it's not fair it's easy, No, you're looking at an empty mic over there. So
That's
what the hell? I've been listening to.
I understand, but we got to give him
This guy,
the opportunity to defend what he's saying.
The uppity N-word, she bumped into me, and how dare she? It's white entitlement, but you still won't say you racist, you liars.
That's a good point about if the guy is yelling, Obama's president. Like, that's just...
He's goofy.
It's such a taunting, silly thing.
Exactly. But you know what that is? Not defending that kid, but I'm going to say that the dude... He would have found any way. He would have been like, he would have said, Jesse Jackson bought new shoes. Yeah. It just is something that you can go,
he's breaking balls.
He's busting your balls,
right.
The black president. It's a civil war between N-word lovers and racists. Like, it's the right and the left, and white people are always discussing how we feel. That's what I'm saying. We, in this country, we're like dogs to this country. We don't have our own feelings. We don't know how to feel. We don't know how to rationalize. We're just crazy. Calm down, paranoid, crazy black man. Let us figure out your problems. That's what I'm saying. It's not malicious. It's just what white people are. Arrogant. They don't want to hear it no more. That's all it is. I'm telling you, being from where I'm from, what I know is covert, non-aggressive racism. The racism you cannot prove. And that's what we living with now. That's why I'm saying all of this is nonsense to me, because I don't feel anybody change. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so where does the line go between racism you can't prove and covert racism, institutionalized racism, which I agree with you, it exists.
I don't. It's like
no,
everybody feels Bill O'Reilly's a racist.
No,
but can you prove it?
But where does that line end, and the line where it's like, I'm black and I'm misreading this? Almost like there is a line where you're black and you're misreading something.
Okay, give me an example of you think that black people just misread something about how white people feel.
That booing right there was a great example of misreading the. Had I not seen that in every single concession speech, I would have thought, my God, they're booing this like that was.
And that comes from education, and I wasn't educated on that issue. I took it as how I felt at the time,
right.
And watching McCain, and what I said, it had a lot to do with McCain. The way he said, the way he looked, it looked like he was like, don't do this. It didn't look phony like this is what he's supposed to do. It looked like a disappointed man in that reaction to the people that represent him, because it just wasn't right.
I think when he saw them booing, it was almost like, nah, don't do the typical thing now. Not don't boo like that was the typical thing.
Yes,
to boo.
Don't do that.
Don't
now.
do what we always do.
I think he was
not now. This is a bigger.
I
thing.
think he was playing his role in that whole thing. I think he appreciated that people were booing.
No, I
because McCain still believed all the way to the end that he was the better guy.
I think he's
his
too genuine.
concession
So when you got your supporters going boo, I think you're up there going, oh, that's kind of cool.
I felt that guy on his concession speech,
did too.
dude. I felt that dude. And
it
just felt like
when he finally got to really say what he wanted to say, it was a great speech.
I really
we got to go to the phones. These guys are killing the talk. Let's go to Eric in Cleveland. Eric.
First off, I got to tell you, I'm black. I didn't vote for Obama. I felt that Obama was bad for the country. And I got to tell you, Patrice, I'm ashamed of you even being black with me, simply due to the fact that I am listening to you and this garbage that you're spewing out. We're Americans first. We're Americans first. And I understand that people have gone through a lot of hardship and a lot of agony to get to where we're at, but everybody has. Chinese, Irish, Italian, black. We all have gone through something. Our job is basically to get there and do what we're supposed to do.
Can I tell you something? I'm going to tell you something right now. White people think you're hilarious. White people are like, who is this goofy guy? Your white wife and your white friends. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you. I will tell you this. You said you're ashamed that I'm black. You're ashamed of how I feel. You're ashamed of how I feel is what you're saying. What you're saying is you're ashamed. As a matter of fact, you insulted me to get your point across, and I'm telling you, I'm sharing my feelings with you, and you haven't even shared a feeling. Do you feel like this country's racial? Do you feel like this country's racial? You're one of these black people. Let me tell you who you are. You're a black person. You're a black person who doesn't eat watermelon in front of white people. That's who you are.
Let him answer. That's a good question.
First off, you are right. I don't like watermelon.
Exactly. You don't like nothing that makes you think that you're the black way that white people present you.
Are hypocritical. Hypocrites.
Who's hypocrites?
If Obama was a black Republican, he would have never got in.
That's an absolute lie. Colin Powell would have been the president. Matter of fact, when I heard, I'm going to tell you something. Colin Powell sound more presidential supporting Obama than Obama did.
Like an idiot. He sounded like an idiot because all he could say was that Obama was black, and that's why I support him. Not on his ideas, not on his concepts. And so we decide that this country is far more important than our whole race aspect.
I love this country. I love this country.
I want that guy to, Patrice asked a good question. Patrice, you asked this guy a good question. I didn't hear his answer about what do you think is racial about the country. I would like to hear his response. I didn't hear that. What was the question you asked him? It was something about what.
Yeah, do you think this country is racial?
Of course it's racial.
So that means but you sound like you've made it despite the racism in this country, correct?
Like every other race.
Like every other race.
Every other race.
As including myself, that I make it despite how this country treats us. I'm not saying that this is an excuse. This country treats us like garbage, dude. And for you to say it doesn't, does this country treat black people like garbage?
Everybody like garbage.
Really? What white person got treated like garbage historically?
But that's where I'm at with this guy. We all get treated like garbage.
Historically.
Hold on, let him answer. I want to hear what he, let him answer.
Everybody's being treated like garbage, and I'll tell you how.
I agree with that, man.
You see it in the lines, people standing in for food stamps, and you know what? Those who make it, make it. Those who don't, don't. That's the American way.
Dude, you're allowed to feel like that, but I'm gonna tell you, you've never had an experience. You've never had an experience to have you realize that.
That's where you are so wrong.
Wait, how is he wrong? How is he wrong?
How am I wrong?
How is he wrong?
I'm your age.
What happened to you to feel this way?
I have experienced racism to the utmost. But
what have you experienced?
Make a difference.
What have you? And do you understand how you're sounding? You're not being honest, man. You're saying the goofy. You're talking for white people.
But you have no stand against a black man who has equal intelligence to you, who's experienced what you've experienced.
I asked you a question. What did you experience?
What? And I understand that everybody...
Answer the question.
What have you experienced?
Answer the question, man.
Answer the question. Yeah. Good. I started high school my elementary school to my junior high school years were all in an all-black school. My parents moved to an all-white neighborhood. I was the third family in an all-white neighborhood in the late 70s, early 80s. I experienced racism. The N-word was used every time that I went around. I did everything in my power to compete with them on their level, on intellect, on the levels of athleticism.
Same thing as me.
And guess what?
Same thing. Right now, we're not different, but go ahead.
Yeah, how were you able to move on from all that? Because Patrice can't move on from any of that.
Do you think that this is? Can I ask? Hold on, Eric. Excuse my interruption. This is a white guy on the outside. This to me sounds. Are you think this is a black guy who is not in touch with his anger or rage at what? I mean,
of course not. And I don't even use the word sell out this and sell out that. But this guy's been called that, and here's the thing, I relate to this guy on a level where I understand being an intelligent black man, you get a moniker of being a sellout. But you don't like black people.
Wrong. I love black people.
All right, we can continue.
But you know what? I've also learned to love other people, too.
Me too.
Because of that, I'm able to see the world as a complete whole and not as an individual. And that's why I don't think bother with it.
White people don't even follow you, man.
Sure.
All right.
That was interesting to hear, though.
Yeah, Patrice, just let it go.
Yeah,
okay.
Let it go. I
really want to just
you gotta
get
let it
over it, man.
For your own health. You got, just high blood pressure.
I'm very over it. I'm over it despite the situation. That's all I'm saying.
Just let it all go.
Spewing garbage. Shut up.
We need you to just
shut up with your white friends around clapping you. Yay, you dumbass.
I'm getting you a meditation class for.
See, that's why we like Byron. You're an idiot.
You have to.
You know how many white friends I got? You jackass.
Very few.
Well, you know how many white people I claim to have? You know how many white friends I think I have?
You know how many white comics will do a gig with you to split the driving costs?
We should do a secret ballot. You should write down all the white friends you have, and then we'll go to those people and see if they're actually friends.
I don't even want to know. I know when it comes down to it, they'll run for their lives. But there's a few.
When do you know? Dr. King was always a hero of mine growing up. Martin Luther King. When is his birthday?
Yeah. Birthday.
Yeah. It is in. It's in January.
Yeah. January what?
January 20th.
No.
Nope.
And what do you do to celebrate his birthday?
Yeah. What do you do?
I beat white people.
Well,
I hose them.
You know what I do to celebrate? I always do this. I perform in Atlantic City. It's January 15th is the great doctor's birthday, but the 16th, 17th, I perform at the Borgata. That's how I celebrate that man's birthday.
I gotta tell you got me too, man. You got me too. Wow.
Thanks, Kenny came in and told me it's Martin Luther King weekend.
Wow.
Right, thank you, Dumbo.
Oh, your acting was really good there too. Let's say hi to Sean from Brooklyn because of the discussion. He's a black guy. Just so people know what's going on here. Sean, what do you got?
What's going on, guys, man?
Hey, man.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Sean.
And what's up with the other dude over there? Let me tell you something. I'm a black dude. I'm a real black dude. Yeah. I live in East New York. I don't live in Hollywood. I'm not a comic. I work 60 hours a week. For dude to get on there, Patrice I'm talking about, and to say that Obama is not black, he's half African and half white.
Yep.
I got news for you, dog. Check this out. Every black man in America is half African and half white. Where they get the slaves from?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Where they get the slaves from?
You're talking. Here's the thing you're doing right now. You're being emotional. You didn't hear what I said.
No, I heard exactly what you said.
That he's black in this country because of what?
Because of his skin.
Exactly. That's my point I made. Am I lying?
You're not lying.
So what are you upset about?
That he's not a black man.
No. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing I can hear from you. Here's the thing I can hear from you. See, the thing is, by what you're saying, about how you qualified yourself by saying you're a real black dude, right? This is our problem. We qualify ourselves as real black, real this, real that, by our experience and keeping it real and this. Your voice is not the same as the other dude, and your voice is not the same as mine. Dude, you from East New York. I hear it. You probably don't play games and the whole thing. You're not a comic. And really what you was doing in an emotional way is you was insulting me. Yo, I'm not Hollywood. I'm not a comic. You dismiss me. This is our problem, is that we can't be different. We can't be different and be the same. What I'm saying is, when I say he's not black, okay, I mean he is not, it's not a generational thing that's deep in him, because we've been locked up in this country since 1619. Let me tell you, Africans don't give him to us. Africa thinks that he's theirs. They said that they export presidents to this country. They disrespect black people. They don't look at us like that. I'm telling you.
Patrice, when I said a real black man, I mean a real N-word, okay?
Right.
And I don't know if I can say it over the radio. Hold on a second. When I say that, I mean that, bruh, I work 60 hours a week. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I work 60 hours a week. I work on the weekend doing a little bouncing job at a little Mexican club. I got my granddaughter because my son is on the street right now talking about he's on the grind so he can get $600 Prada shoes. I'm the same age as you. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm hearing you.
So my perspective is going to be different than yours. Just because you got money, I don't think there's a difference.
Oh, I don't got no money, dude. I don't have. See, wait, no. I can't wait a second, because you think something of me that ain't true. I don't have no money like that.
You missing the whole point.
All right, what is your point?
I'm coming from emotional. What I'm saying is, you can get on there and you can talk funny jokes and that.
Did you feel like I was being funny? See, this is what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's going on right now, and it's our problem. This is our problem. What's going on?
Oh, you gonna let me say what I got?
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm saying, how do you throw in, you're insulting me, right? But then you want to keep going. I can't retort. I can't get in there. You dismiss me 4 times already. I don't have the money you think I do. Let me tell you how easy my life would be if I smiled and shucked and jived and felt and didn't tell people how I feel.
Or we're just nice.
You understand? That's what it is, dude. I'm telling you, all of this thing where, yo, I'm a real N-word and all that. What does that mean? This is what I'm saying, dude. Everybody, we're all qualifying what black is.
When you ask the other dude from Cleveland, what racism have you experienced, and what makes you different from somebody else? Like I said.
Oh, so okay, what is the point? So what you're saying is I'm crazy for thinking that this country's racist?
I fit the profile, so don't ask me about what kind of
So what is your beef with me?
I don't think he was. Hold on. I don't think Patrice. I don't think that guy was dismissing you. I think he was just like saying, "I'm not these other things that you've mentioned before you."
Okay, fair enough. But what is your beef with me? What am I saying that ain't right to you?
My beef with you is for you to say that Obama is not a black man, that he's an African.
Yes.
African and half white. Bruh,
but you got to understand my point. What's his name?
Brought over here and
Troy?
Sean.
Listen to him.
And therefore, that's where you come in.
No, Sean. No, just listen to me, Sean. Let me try to say what I meant by that.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, and I could have said it wrong, that the country is so racial and so racist that anybody black will be black. by their color, not their experience. It's just the fact that black people are black because of our skin, and white people are white because of their skin. I'm saying that not that he ain't no real brother. I'm saying the dude is first generation African. He's not you. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying that he's black because that's how racial the country is that they qualify us just by skin. That's my point.
Okay, all right. So I'm sorry for dissing you 4 times, but let me say one thing to you. If you've seen Obama, and you don't know he's Obama from a hole in the wall,
right?
And you just happen to see him on the street, you couldn't look at him and say he's first generation African.
He's black, exactly. Right. There you go, because of his color, exactly.
But you don't see white people as Irish. You can through ethnicity tell.
I don't see anybody as anything. I just see him as a dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a real N-word, but I work with white people.
Because you have white friends.
I work with everybody.
But we're not talking about your friends, Sean. We're talking about the country. I have white friends. There's white people I truly love as people, and they're my friends. And you probably have white guys because you work so hard that, dude, you have a beer with them, you probably fought with them, and you love them. But we're talking about the country, man. You feel how you feel because of the country.
Right. But see, what you have to understand is, in order for us to be able, and Anthony was asking about a solution, and I'm going to give you the solution. In order for us to be able to move on to the next level where race relations and racism and racistness, whatever buzzwords everybody want to put on it, is going to get better, and I'm saying we now because I'm including you now, I'm embracing you. Okay, first I had to spank you, now I'm going to embrace you.
You think you spanked me? Are you out your mind? What is this, a rap battle, Sean? You thought you spanked me?
Yeah, Jimmy and I felt it. Absolutely.
Now, Sean, you knocked him around a little bit, now make him feel better.
That's right. We all felt it.
I love when they infight.
We as black people, you're stupid. We as black people first have to.
Got Lesnar talking at Couture right now.
We have to embrace each other. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, Sean.
We have to be able to get past the barriers of just because you got a little bit of chips and I ain't got no chips.
Yep, exactly.
You funny, ha-ha, or whatever.
Yep.
Again, with the you got chips.
He's right.
What is he talking? Do you see where it's going? This is why we can't
Couldn't
win.
agree more, Sean.
That's right,
That's
Sean.
what he's got. Patrice has some chips.
Yep.
And he is slightly uppity, but I like the fact that Sean smacked him around.
Yeah.
Patrice comment? Patrice comment?
On what?
On what Sean said?
I already commented. Unreasonable.
I don't even feel like going down that road.
I'm a reasonable guy. Like, if we go back to the gay thing, I don't want gay people to think I'm fucking... I just go, please give me a convincing argument to make me go, you know what, that's very, very fair.
And that's how you know it's been a long morning when Patrice O'Neal says, I'm a reasonable guy.
I'm reasonable.
Who are you trying to kid?
I'm not a
reasonable. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It really is. It's
reasonable.
been a 4-hour temper tantrum.
Yeah. Jesus.
You cocksucking motherfuckers.
Anything else you want to get off your chest while
really?
we're here as your punching bags?
This 5 hours is
exhausting.
Anthony.
But he's different. Anthony
refilmed Birth of a Nation 6 times.
I love Anthony, but I am watching my friend
unravel.
He's coming apart at the seams. He's coming apart.
Every day.
At the seams.
You motherfuckers. Patrice is what?
You're very unreasonable. But Anthony's coming apart. Anthony's almost beyond help.
Patrice.
You're still within the realm of help. Anthony is unhelpable. Anthony will only be helped.
And that's what white people want. Turn the other cheek, niggas. That's
No.
shit.
Ant's making a good point about... Jimmy's making a good point about it.
No, I'm talking about Anthony. Yeah. I'm saying that you're still salvageable as a person. Anthony...
I don't want to be salvageable as long as Anthony's around.
Anthony's going to come out of it someday in a psychiatric hospital mumbling something racist. And even people who are like his family are going to go, you're taking it too far.
And this is beyond taxes. It's bullshit.
Do you understand we're doing a radio show with the next I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore guy?
It's fucking...
How great is this for us?
Absolutely. He's fucking
Peter
Fish.
This is network, man.
He really is going to walk...
We're living network. This is exciting.
Except he's not going to inspire anybody to do anything.
Right.
Yes, he is.
No. Anthony's not a mean dude.
He's going to inspire some psychopath garbage man to
all right, calm down now.
Now, Anthony's only expressing anger and stuff, but Anthony's not a mean dude. And there's nothing mean about what Anthony's saying.
No, I'm not saying he's going to inspire.
He expresses what a lot of people are thinking.
I have to piss. I have to piss badly.
So? Why, when I'm saying it, I'm fucking crazy?
Because you're black.
No one thinks you're crazy. It's a black thing.
Well, thank you for being honest. Shit. At least I get that from you motherfuckers.